second runners-up game where host nation Vietnam clash with Thailand. We are going to take you through the action of this game. My name is Glenn Mascarenas, and along with me I've got my co-commentator and friend Natasha. Natasha, welcome back to the Luck Chai Stadium. Great to have you with me.
And it's great to be covering this third place matchup between Vietnam, the host country, taking on Thailand. You know, these two teams have a rich history of going against each other, most especially within the last 5 times that these two teams have met. Vietnam have taken 4 wins rather, and 1 draw. So let's see what Thailand can come to bring up with today.
So absolutely, it's a big one here. A lot of pride on the line and always a great rivalry. But first up, before we do anything else in this game, it's going to be, well, the national anthem of the respective teams. So we start off with the national anthem of one team, move on to the national anthem of the next team, and then of course we'll get you acquainted with the team lineups and with the officials. We've also got, well, those lovely children who escort the players onto the pitch, and they have been flown in from all parts of the ASEAN. Isn't that a wonderful initiative by MSIG, Natasha?
Definitely, it really just brings the whole women's football community together, inspiring kids from such a young age to already take part and be a part of the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. They've been flown in all over from the likes of Malaysia, Singapore, the Philippines, all these young players here to watch things on the biggest stage possible.
Absolutely, so time for the national anthem. Stay with us, don't go anywhere as the action continues.
Please stand for the national anthem. Đề nghị quý vị đại biểu, quý vị khách quý cùng toàn thể khán giả đứng dậy làm lễ chào cờ. The national anthem of Thailand, quốc ca Thái Lan. The national anthem of Vietnam, quốc ca Việt Nam.
So let's get straight down to the action right here at the Luck Chai Stadium. Second runners-up game. I did promise you that it was going to be a big one, and expect that age-old rivalry to kick back in. We will get you acquainted with our officials in just a little bit. We've also got the Vietnamese home fans who've turned up here to support, well, the Roses of Vietnam in this event. And here we have the Roses of Thailand. You've also got, well, a few Thailand fans have turned up. As always, it's going to be an interesting battle. But first up, let's also remind you that soon after this we will have the finale kicking in. But here's the Vietnam lineup. It's going to be Kim Than neath the bar. Chong Thi Kyu takes up a position in defense along with Chon Thi Tu and Siem Mi as on the left and right. Tu Thao will be up on the wings with Chon Thi Zuon, Hai Lin and Tan Thi Thao. Thai Thi Thao take up midfield positions with Huan Nhu and Big Tui backing up Hai Yin in attack. There is a bit of a change here as Huan Nhu moves down behind and Hai Yin comes in for the first time in the starting lineup. Otherwise, both these players are never there together. Kim Yi-jong is the main referee, being assisted by Medalo Albano of Philippines and Wan Li of China. Our fourth official is Yu Hong. Our VAR is Jin Jing Yuan of China, and our assistant is Choi Hyun Jae of Korea. Christina Ramos is our match commissioner, and our referee assessor is Rinthi Binti Ghani.
And for the side of Thailand, they've made 2 changes. Janista will play and start this matchup over Wirunya, and Thawanrat gets the start over Rinyapat. They form up in a 4-4-2. At the back, it's Chachawan, Pinyapat, Supaporn, and Anacha. On goal, it's Pawarisa. The midfielders of Janisa, Pilyatida, Pluem Chai, Kanchanatat, and up on top, it's Madison and Thawanrat.
It's a very interesting lineup when you look at it, actually, Natasha, because Thailand have fielded pretty much the same lineup that they did in the first game against Vietnam. So, with the exception, of course, now of Thawanrat moving up there in place of Rinyapat from the previous game. But Thailand, I do believe, have pretty much stuck to basics. I think it's only in the previous game that we saw Janista, who came off the bench later on. But it's pretty much the same formula. Hai Yin normally, one of the two, either Huan Nhu or Hai Yin, would be on pitch today. Both of them in the starting lineup, and that must be a bit of a ploy from coach Mai Duk Chung. That's Futoshi Keita of Thailand. And I do believe, as we said earlier, it's going to be a battle to remember. The home fans, 2 of their finest ladies in strike here, Hai Yin and Huan Nhu, and it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. So, Natasha, second meeting between the teams in this event.
During the group stage, of course, it was Vietnam that took the win against Thailand to get the #1 seed for the semifinals. But both teams took a loss as well in the semifinals, and how they ended up in the battle for third. So you can expect both Vietnam and Thailand to be very hungry to salvage up at least a third-place podium finish in this competition.
Just as an afterthought, if you think about it, Vietnam might have loved to have finished second best in the group. And here we go into the action as Vietnam start proceedings. Well, Thailand would have won the toss and chosen the side. It will be an interesting battle, as we said. But right now, just to get into the thick of things still, Team Thailand will probably get a bit of time to settle down as, Nacha just tries to create an opportunity, moves it back to a goalkeeper. We'll find Pinyapat, 17 years old, still in Nakhon Si school. She's played the role of a very mature defender here. And just like her other 17-year-olds, Madison Jade Castine, pretty much the future of Thai women's football. It's going to be an early corner opportunity for Team Thailand and Chachawan to take it. Natasha Chachawan, probably the senior most player in the team, but what a way she's led the goals.
Definitely one of the more experienced players. 10 appearances already, who plays for Bangkok WFC. She was a captain of the U19 team and also had the experience playing in the Japan League.
Well, on collision coast there, and that'll be stopped. It could have just been a sneaky one through. Absolutely wonderful work there from Kim Than to keep Pinyapat away. Well, I was just talking about these young ladies earlier, and I was just going to say, don't trust the youngsters too much. They can come up with the goods.
And they're taking a page off the playbook of Australia to really just come out right away, guns blazing, and to try to get one past a very settled team of Vietnam, get them before they settle in.
So Pilyatida will have to wait her turn while the referee just sorts things out. So 2 early corners for Team Thailand. Remember, it's a very fierce rivalry that these two teams have. Straight up in the air. Turned away just in the nick of time, I would believe, but Thailand still with it. Yes, Blumjoy. Our back kick will just restore things to Vietnam, but not for too long. I do believe just a bit of an effort from Tavanrat to try and restore it. Straight back to Nacha. Pachayatira back again. Blumjoy puts that into space and it'll just be, well, drawn away by Team Vietnam. Well, let's remind you that this is the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. We are down to the second runners-up match, or what we call the third place match. One of these two squads will finish third best in the tournament. Vietnam and Thailand missing out on the finale. Those spots taken by Myanmar and Australia. Still a bit of work being done by Thailand, as they seem to be very sticky and persistent. Yes, Kanjanatat. Well, Madison moving to the right flank, playing down the extreme today rather than the middle. Definitely a move from Ikeda, only to meet with the defense of Vietnam. And finally, a bit of joy here for the host nation, who are just struggling, well, to get their feet to the ball. Yes, Super Prawn back again. I do believe, well, Natasha, looks like the Thailand, just as you mentioned, have hit the ground running hard. And I think that that's the plan. They want, definitely, it looks like the aim is to win it. They're in it to win it this time around.
And when you take a look at how Australia, of course, were able to get one past the home team. They scored 2 early goals within the first 17 minutes of the matchup, which forced Vietnam on the defensive, something that they weren't used to, especially in this tournament in the group stage. They were 3-4-3, only team to get maximum points before getting into the semi-finals.
Well, absolutely, you hit the nail on the head there. Still a bit of movement. Chachawan being kept away. Chong Tikyu does well. Super Prawn restores it. Pinyapat finding Tavanrat. Yes, Blumjoy. And Madison once again moves down the right. She's into the goal area, and the ball just getting away. Well, the defense holding strong here for Team Vietnam. Needed just a tad bit of assistance, I would have thought. Needed a partner to do the tango with in that box. So, all said and done, Thailand still holding on to possession. I'm sure when we get those statistics up, it's going to tell us a bit of a story. Pinyapat once again with the long ball straight back to, well, Kim Tan.
And
We
Thailand,
welcome that with open arms. And Kim Tan, of course, has done a stellar role here, you know, in this event. She's, for my money, she's been, well, one of the 3 finest keepers I've seen.
she's also a player that has so much experience on her. 53 appearances already for the national team. Plays for Thai Nguyen, TNT.
Well, Haiyan getting to it, chasing it down their best as she can. Haiyan puts it to the left. It's a bit of a helping hand there from Tu Thao. Huan Yu gets in. Still very much with the ball. Vietnam beginning to look a tad bit dangerous, but that's pulled away, and Plumjoy finally in charge. So Kanjanatat unable to hold on for too long as Chon Thi Thu steps in. Here's Chong Thi Kyu. Vietnam have definitely got, well, their eyes on the win here today, finding Leithi Sim Mi. Sim Mi back again to Chan Thi Suan. And that's just pulled away from Haiyan in time by Janista.
And that was quick work from Janista as well, to go back down to support defensively. Something that they missed in that semi-finals matchup. She couldn't really play an impact role when she came on as a substitute, and now starting to play a better role coming on starting for the team of Thailand.
So safe hands there from Pavarissa, even as she had, well, the opposition just approaching. Very, very interesting how things have, well, turned out, because Vietnam leading that attack. And Natasha, just as you rightfully said, 2 of the changes that I saw in both these teams, which I thought was a bit odd to me. One was, of course, Janista not being in that starting lineup, as you mentioned. And the second was Haiyan coming on so late in the game for Vietnam. And I do believe that whatever coach Mike Duk Chung was doing between playing Huan Yu first or Haiyan first, and then, you know, having the other player replace the other in that second period, that formula was actually pretty much a winning formula. So today, with both of them in the starting lineup, and I'm trying to figure out, it might be a different story.
And as with both teams, of course, leading the charge for both squads, two very well-respected coaches in their own right. Mai Dok Chung for Vietnam and Futoshi Ikeda for Thailand.
It's going to be straight back to Kim Tan. There's just another funny bit I was looking at was observing Chanti Zuan, who plays for Pong Phu Hanam, and one of the odd players out, because you got most of the players playing for Thai Bien TNT, and you look at that midfield lineup, Tu Thao, Hai Lin, Tai Thi Thao, all play for Hanoi. So the sync between them is actually such a natural sync. And I do wonder whether that's going to come to the fore today, because there's been a bit of, you know, swapping around, as we've seen, in terms of Vietnam pretty much going in with the lineup that they played against Thailand, with a couple of changes. As I said, those two strikers up there. And then we've also got, Wan Seo, who's been replaced by Hai Lin, you know, on the back. So that's also made a bit of a difference. I would really like to see Vietnam hit the ground running hard. And I just think that it's taken them a bit of time to settle into their boots. Having said that, it is the home team and anything is possible. Straight pass back here from Lei Thi Siem Mi to Chong Tae Kyu.
And two very different teams and two different approaches coming into this matchup as well. The Vietnam team fielding in their most senior players, averaging around 30 years old, as compared to Thailand, putting up a team that is very young, up and coming. And a lot of these players play in the local league as well, mostly playing for Chonburi FC and Bangkok WFC.
I was just talking about these two players earlier, you know, Madison and Pinyapat, 17-year-olds. And I can understand the exuberance of youth in a striker that's 17, but for a centre-back or for a defender at that age to have a mature manner of thinking, that's quite something else, you know. And I was just looking, and I think that Pinyapat pretty much defines what that future of Thai football might be. At least, to be fair to Madison, she does play on foreign shows. She's been, you know, born and brought up abroad. It's a different story altogether, because she plays for a team in the United States. But Pinyapat still very much a part of that educational system. So it's going to be interesting to see many of these actually sail into the main team soon.
Definitely, that was spot on, most especially how the growth of these players are already playing for the national team at such a young age. You can imagine the growth that they'll experience throughout the years, most especially that at such a young age they're already going against the likes of Vietnam, Australia, Philippines.
Appeal there for a handball. It's not going to work too well, but Janista Jananthuya once again gets charged before it's pulled away by Team Vietnam. To have Tai Thi Thao, who stepped in. Quick pass back here on the outside. Shanti too doing well, and here goes that wonderful player that we've been talking about, Big Tui. Just a bit of a skirmish there, and it looks like, well, Madison will have to let go. Vietnam have the intent here. They've been able to pull it away for a few times. The Team Thailand do well, and it's back to Chachawan. The captain, we just did have a word about her. She's led this team extremely well. There's been a great bit of understanding. There's been a great bit, and well, I'm going to say this, well, every team is competitive, and we've enjoyed every team that we've seen here. The Team Thailand will have been one of the most exciting teams to watch, just in terms of the action and with what they brought, you know, to the table. Quick header back. Yes, Kanchanathat was looking to find her way through. Tawanrat will get on top of it, but Chong Thi Kyu, well, did try her best.
And you can feel the difference now with this Thailand lineup. As I said, Janista has been impressive in the first 12 minutes of this game. She's leading the press, so she's putting on that high press, helping her team win back possession. She's also been so dynamic with her movements, the way she cuts back in between the spaces to show up as an option.
I really do like her a lot. I've been watching her right through this tournament, and if there's one player in this whole tournament who's got swag, I'm going to put it down to Janista. She's an absolutely wonderful athlete to watch in action, a real attitude, and just as you mentioned, she's such a core player for the side. Has the ability to defend, to distribute, to assist, and to strike. 3 goals to her credit. You know, that tells us a bit of a story as well. Big pass back here, definitely. Pinyapat once again pulling it away before 1 year could get to it. It's Super Prawn now. 13 minutes in, and it almost seems like there's so much of action right here in this semi-final. Let's remind you once again, the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025 kicked in way back on the 6th, to be precise, of August. And it's an exciting one because this is the 13th edition of the ASEAN Women's Championship, you know, organized by the ASEAN Football Federation. And what a joy it's been over the years. Looking to receive that Janista, but it's going to be Cham Thi Xuyen who'll take the throw-in for Team Vietnam.
And when you think of these two teams, Thailand and Vietnam, both teams, powerhouses in Southeast Asia, have had the best record so far in this tournament.
Here's Big Twee. Needs to set that up, but a quick header will cast it away. And there's always going to be another close-up opportunity. It was Plumjoy to get to it. Another player absolutely dangerous in the opposition's goal area. So every opportunity counts, and here's Big Twee. Definitely, Natasha, my pick of the players in Vietnam for this tournament. Absolutely stunning to watch.
She's already made 7 key passes so far in this tournament, as well as scored 2 goals to her name. She scored that late goal against Australia and has been a quality player all around.
And there's always going to be this discussion about the women's team and the men's team, right? And if you look at it from a viewpoint, the Vietnam men's team is known to have this never say die attitude. The women's team has technical brilliance as well as kind of that attitude. But for me, you know, Big Twee, the number 23, actually really defines that men's sort of approach, never say die. You want to give us a quick take on the statistics, Natasha?
For Vietnam, they've had a 42% possession, and Thailand has had 58%. 2 corners so far for Thailand and 1 for Vietnam. It's been a tight contest between these 2 squads. Back-to-back action.
Thai Thi Thao doing a level best, and as long as she can earn a corner, that's going to work well for Team Vietnam. I do believe that was well, pretty much the intention if you look at it from that viewpoint. But defending hard, of course, was Nacha. And it's 1-0. Goes in for the shot corner. Pulling in Thai Thi Thao, and what a waste here. Opportunity strikes here, but unable to guide that home. Thai Thi Thao. Wonderful delivery straight into, well, the goal area. It needed guidance, and that header has just been, well, a bit wayward. Not the easiest unless you are in that comfortable position, isn't it, Natasha, and you've got it planned out.
But that was a quick corner. Great movements from Vietnam, the connection up on top. When you quickly passing it on to Big Twee, and her deliveries, the way that she sets up her teammates has just been absolutely spot on throughout this whole tournament.
Chong Thi Kyu will help the keeper out here as she goes. Well, she's another player to watch that's been very dedicated to the cause. I do believe Thai Thi Thao will look for another opportunity. She's already had a goal in the tournament. Would love to add another to her, another feather to her cap. Once again, that quick movement that we've looked at from Big Tui. It's a layoff there. Lovely back pass from Hun Nhu. Well, straight into the box, but there's going to be no foul called, and Thailand will continue. Well played there, Madison Castine. Well, does come to the aid of her team.
And those are very dangerous, most especially when you make tackles inside the box. You always have to time that with great precision, because a difference of a tackle of changing possession could easily be a penalty kick in favor of the other squad.
Well, it's always a dangerous call, and I do believe just pretty much as dangerous it is for every defender when it comes to clearing the ball, especially when they're trying to put it out of play. You never know, that goal is just a few inches away sometimes. Well, Pinyapat's got it easy here. 18 minutes in, let's remind you once again, Team Thailand and Team Vietnam locked in battle here for that third place game. You know, just to, these teams have had, well, so many encounters. Just looking back, you know, at history, the last one, of course, was in the group stage, Vietnam winning 1-0. Straight back to keeper Kim Tan. But 2019, Vietnam, of course, won 1-0 in the final. It added extra time. 2016, Vietnam won 2-0 in the group stage. Thailand 6-5 on penalties in the final. Once again, 2015, Thailand winning 2-1 in added extra time in the final. Then two goalless stalemates in 2013 and 2004. And Vietnam winning 3-2 in 2006 and 2008 and 2007. Vietnam winning one in the semi-final, Thailand winning another. It's been a huge battle here in the knockout stage, and that's one of the reasons, Natasha, whenever you're looking at the stadium, they'll always have a crowd when these two nations are up against each other.
There's such a rich history and background between these two teams. Both teams always battling it out for supremacy in Southeast Asia, whether it's in the Southeast Asian Games or in the MSIG Serenity Cup.
Kanchanatat swapping sides here. It's one of the things, of course, that Team Thailand have done right through this tournament. They do switch positions at will. Straight off pitch here, Thida's, well, foot. Just a tad bit of an error there from Kanchanatat, and Vietnam's got the opportunity. I do believe it's times like this that you really need to take that into account. Quick pass back there from, well, the front line, and right here it's going to be, well, Laetitium Me will bring in Chanthi Zuin. Chanthi Zuin gets it to Thai Thi Thao, and that's straight back to Hai Lin. Hai Lin will find Thai Thi Thao. Back to Hai Lin, yeah. Coming in from the right flank, Chanthi Zuin and Big Tui. Quick one-touch pass there from a good mate, Chanthi Zuin. I do love the way she's got great expression. Gets absolutely distraught when she loses the ball. That's just how passionate she is.
And you can also see how low Thailand were defending on that occasion. They allowed Vietnam to have possession by that half line, but as they went into the attacking third, the defensive third of Thailand, they would just double up on defense. They know how dangerous the players are up on top for Vietnam, most especially Big Tui.
Chachawan back in control here. Get it to Pinyapat. Pavarissa drawn super prawn back to Pavarissa. Pinyapat's got to decide which way she's going to go with it. Oh, the keeper would be the obvious choice for the time being. Thailand not in too much of a hurry. Well, I wouldn't be if I was in the first quarter either. And Thailand will win the benefit of that call, I do believe. Looks like a first, casualty on pitch. And just a quick word from the referee there to Tuthau. I believe that's Nacha who's down. Looks like she has hurt, well, her shoulder. And the medics will just checking in on her. That's an absolutely beautiful spot, isn't it? I do love that color combination. Looks psychedelic to me.
And the Thailand supporters making their way here, the Lakchai Stadium, to show that support for the Thailand women's national team. That was a challenge, the high boot.
Well, I think it's a bit of a worry there for her shoulder. She was wincing in pain earlier. And we just hope she's back. Oh, those colors are absolutely stunning. Real graffiti on those flags as well. Absolutely love it. Well, straight back to the action here. We are actually past the first quarter of this game. It's still goalless here at the Haipong Stadium. And just as Super Prawn gets ready to take the kick.
And that was showings as well of the two different supporters. The one for the Golden Star Women Warriors Vietnam and for the Chabakeo Female War Elephants of Thailand.
It's actually a very funny term when you think about it, female war elephants, because did you know that female elephants are actually more prone to fending off an attack by lions than a male elephant? And that's kind of strange, isn't it? But it actually comes with them protecting their young. So that's quite impressive. But looking at the Thai team and how lean every single girl is, but I'd probably want to call them the lean war elephants. So just defensive work being taken up here. Pavarissa coming to the rescue of the team. Yes, Mai Duk Chung. I did mention this, one of the senior most coaches around today. I'm looking at him being very, very interactive. What a loyalist he has been with Team Vietnam, starting his journey in '97 before he hopped on and off the road, and his feet carrying him back to the team. Most recently, yes, Chong Thi-kyu.
He's definitely had a deep history with the women's national team. It's 74 years old, one of the oldest coaches of any national team. Of course, bringing them to the World Cup in 2023.
And that's going to sail out. So Team Vietnam would have been keen for an opportunity, but it's not going to happen here. And rightfully put, at the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, Mai Duk Chung was the oldest coach. They're a really respected figure, and I've always been saying this. He's an extremely active man. Would really outpace me if I had to, run a race with him. A few would, but he definitely would.
And as you said, he's been in and out with the women's national team since 1997, 2003 to 2005, in 2014, and as well as 2016 up to the present times.
Team Thailand get with it. Kanchanathat getting it to Tawanrat. Plum Choi needs to get behind it, but her shooting boots won't allow her that opportunity, and that's a good bit of teamwork up there. Kanchanathat and Tawanrat just playing the part, and I do believe it's been a balanced affair so far, as we can see.
Yes, 90 passes so far for Vietnam, 88 passes for Thailand. Similar on pass accuracy as well. Very few chances have been created, and you could tell that that's how close this matchup has been, and both teams have been very organized defensively as well.
Well, big three. Get it back to Chong Thi-kyu. Kim Thon. Kim Thon knows she needs a bit of helping hand. Nothing like moving it down to, Tu Thao. Through an opportunity here for Team Vietnam. I do believe at this point of time, well, you've got to keep in mind the fact that both these teams are playing here for pride, and that's the incentive. Bragging rights as far as their own little history is concerned. Here's Chantizuan. Needs a hand there from Lethi Zimmi. Hailin comes in. Zimmi. Pinyapat will receive it. And Chantizuan will take the throw-in. It's a lot of dedication that these ladies have put together. The Team Vietnam, of course, has been the more seasoned of the two teams on pitch, because these young ladies have played at various stages of the under-23 before moving on to the senior team. They know each other's game very well. There's a natural sync. They don't switch positions too often. That's a bit of a loose pass, no one to intercept it. And I do believe that Chanti Thu won't be too pleased about it. Having said that, it's definitely going to be a throw-in opportunity here for Thailand.
But at the moment, I'm sure Coach Futoshi Kida would be very happy with how his team has been able to hold so far the attacking line of Vietnam, not allowing them to have much chances in the attacking third. Especially when you take into consideration who is in that attacking line. Huan Yu, Haiyan, and Big Tui, all these players, each more than 70 appearances so far for the national team.
Straight back to Chong Thi Kyu. Receive it from Huan Yu. It was just, well, gone a bit deep for a change. Trying to orchestrate things around. Janissa sticks the foot out, but Team Vietnam not with it for too long. Tavanrat pulling it away. Yes, Plumjoy. Get it down to Pinyapat. Oh, well, Pinyapat does stand out from the rest to, well, to play for, well, Chonburi and Bangkok. Well, let's not forget that Kanchanathat is also the odd one out place for, well, the Kasim Pundit University. That's
But a sense that you can see as well how much Thailand are growing in this competition within our eyes, within the last few games that they've played. Each game that they've played, they've become stronger, more confident, especially with their possession and how they bring up the ball.
That's got to be an odd collision. Well, I do believe Chantizuan just doing well to keep the danger away, but took the fall soon after Janista. Kind of a recoil action there. Ricochet, I would have called it. 30 minutes in, yes, Chong Thi Kyu. Let's remind you once again that we are coming at you live from the Luck Chai Stadium in Hai Phong. This is the third place game that's being played between host nation Vietnam and Thailand. And it's been a good day in Hai Phong. It's been a wonderful day so far. No goals for the count. But Team Thailand have been, well, a bit more of the aggressors in this game. Chantizuan was looking for Haiyan. Janista will chase it down. Bit of an ongoing battle between these two down the wing. It's always going to get a bit physical. Plumjoy will receive it back from Pachetida. And Pinyapat restores it to Pavarissa. He's got it back to Super Prawn. Super Prawn just finding a way through. And Vietnam, that's terrific interception once again. Two ladies up front. Can Haiyan make the difference? You would believe. And that's straight off the captain, Chachawan, standing in the path. So Vietnam just crafting another opportunity, and Connor will serve them well.
And to think that that was all against the run of play. It was Thailand that have been enjoying much of the possession in the last few minutes. But a quick counter-attack, a quick transition from defense onto attack, and now it's a corner for Vietnam.
Once again, Vietnam going in for the shot corner. Huan Yu, the big three, back to Huan Yu. And Chanti Zuan's got it covered for the time being, but I think that's just a delay in step that's going to put that ball away from the destination. Receiving it here, 1 year, just outside the box. She's got to, well, pick out her ladies. 3 of them in there. Big three sends it in. It's turned away by the opposition. Won't hold for too long. Chong Thi Kieu restoring it to Chanti Zuan. Well, down the wing, that right wing. What a difference it's made for Team Vietnam. With the number 15 creating a few opportunities. Now from the center, Chong Thi Kieu will decide which way it's going to go, and a change in direction might always serve well. There's Chong Thi Kieu. Straight interception there by, well, Nacha to get it away. It's been a bit of a conversation going on between the ladies of Vietnam for the last minute or so. Haven't seen them hold possession for that long before. And straight off to Huan Yu. The captain will decide whether to make a call or set it up, and gets it off the opposition's captain. Chachawan just right there in the path. And Chong Thi Kieu decides that Kim Tan might be the best one to get it back to for the time being. So Vietnam now beginning to look a little stronger with holding possession longer than they did in those last 30 minutes.
And you could feel that shift of momentum for the side of Vietnam, especially on that right flank.
Well, there could always be problems galore, but when you've got a single player in there, she will need a bit of support, I would believe. And Kanchanathat, well, ambushed there by 3 ladies in red. And that's going to be a caution. And picking it up, well, it is Nacha. Well, just tugging on, well, Hyen. And that's a good call by referee Kim Yu Jong. So that's the first bit of colour added to the first period, and I don't mean it in a nice way. But Nacha picks up a yellow card.
And that was a foul by Nacha just to slow down the attacking play of Hyen. Nacha was completely beat already on that occasion. She knew they had time, and she would have had time and space on that left-hand side, and just forced that foul so that they could reset at the back.
Straight back from Chong Thi Zuan. Does work that right flank extremely well. Chong Thi Kieu, who's played, well, pretty much in her position today, hasn't really stepped up much, and has remained deep for most part of it. And that's going to be pulled away by Thavanrat. Pinyapat sending it back to Super Prawn. Well, I believe that was Plumjoy sending it to Super Prawn. Back to Super Prawn now. Stepping in now, Nacha. Will put it into space. And Madison normally does lead the attack, and it's kind of interesting to have her and Thavanrat up in front today. Big three. Intercepted there by Pinyapat. So just about 9 minutes shy of hitting the 45 here. Let's remind you once again that it is Thailand and Vietnam who are locked in battle in this third place game. We've got the finale kicking in of the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025, and that comes soon after this game, to be precise, at, well, 8 p.m. Vietnam time. So it's a day full of excitement. Chachawan straight back to Pinyapat.
And back-to-back high-quality matches as well here at the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. This whole tournament has been spectacular for the growth of women's football at the ASEAN level, most especially.
Kanchanathat straight down to Pinyapat. Well, you've actually seen, you know, this tournament itself. You've been a part of this tournament, Natasha, before, representing the Philippines, and with every single tournament, it just gets better and better. Would you agree to that?
Exactly, especially with this 2025 series. With now a title sponsor with so much social media backing as well. The highlights of these players, the games being more accessible for everyone to able to watch along and to support this level of football. As well as it gives the players as well that venue to be able to showcase what they are capable of and to most probably even be scouted on even higher levels. It says a lot about the growth of this tournament and how much it has meant for the growth of women's football in the region.
Well, absolutely. It's been a joy to watch, and every single game has had its own share of thrills here. Today, of course, we are down to the final 2 games, and it's been such a journey here in Haipong. Yes, Won Yu will try to strike that through, and that's a sneaky one, straight into the waiting arms of Pavarissa. I think Thailand did have that covered. It wasn't going to be too much of a worry for them. You know, Won Yu unable to get it past the defense. Good backup plan there on the rebound, but I do believe Thailand, well, at least for this first period of play, have pretty much got it figured out.
Those have been the 2 danger people as well for the side of Vietnam. Every time Won Yu and Big Tui get the ball, those that from that long ball passes diagonally, it's been the way where they have exploited the back line of Thailand.
Kim Thao just getting the danger away, and you know, we've spoken at length about Big Tui. She's really like those players. You know, you look over your shoulder and you see her standing behind. Well, she's like one of those players, one of those children in school when you were a kid, who always sat on the first bench and put their hands up, and you would not like them too much. But she's just that kind of player. She pops up every time when the team needs her. She pops up every time and is a bit of a thorn in the opposition side. But no change here as yet in the scoreline, even as Vietnam try and pull things away. Yes, Won Yu straight up there to Big Tui, who's been a very good partner in the attack today for her. Chanti Zoon straight off there from Thu Thao. Needs a helping hand, you would believe. Down the center, Big Tui, and that's going to be one over the crossbar. Second time around. Thai Thi Thao, well, does not get a clear view of the target. Just missing out, flighting that a bit too much. But that is a terrific assist from Big Tui, who sets it up once again.
That fluidity, that team movement from Vietnam, it's really remarkable. The runs that they make off the ball, just knowing exactly, trusting that their teammates will be exactly where they're gonna pass it to. And that's something only a team that's been together for so long, just knowing each other in and out. And for the first time in this matchup, we're seeing that translate to a chance.
Well, it's an interesting bit when you look at it from a different perspective, but I do believe one of the key problems that lies with the Golden Star Warriors is there are periods of time when they do get a bit predictable, and I think that that's the one chink in the armor that Team Australia really picked up on. If you know a team's game too well, it becomes easy to tackle it. It's the surprises that make the change, and this could be one of them, but it isn't. Super Prawn will stand their ground even as Thu Thao gets dangerously close to an opportunity. Won Yu. Won Yu has been such a star player, but I do believe in the last 2 games, or especially in that game, well, previously against Australia, she wasn't the best. And looking back at the game, of course, it will tell us that's because Australia had it totally cordoned off. Pavarissa back to Chachawan. Pachayatida to Chachawan, that's pulled away. Chanti Zoon doing well. Now stepping in. Well, Thai Thi Thao And definitely Thailand will win the benefit of this call here as Kanchanathat is down on the turf, which of course is not that hard. I do love the surface right here at the Haipong Lukchai Stadium. Keep in mind the fact that this is Bermuda grass. Terrific to play football on, terrific to play golf on. Always a very good surface. So very close to the end of the first period, and I think even Stevens, Natasha, in terms of strength and skill here for both teams today.
And the foul, of course, really just slowing the game down. You could feel that Vietnam were creeping in late in this game, finding their momentum, their passes against Thailand. It was Thailand who came out in the first 15-20 minutes, started the game really well, but now it seems to be Vietnam who are stringing together more passes and chances.
And Chachawan just stealing possession from Hai Yen in time. This time it's going to be caution handed out to Team Vietnam. That's for Kanchanathat being brought down the second time around, and it is Chon Thi Thu. So if you think that the number 4 of Thailand has got a caution, the number 4 of Vietnam says, well, I'm just going to keep that on par and pick up one myself. So it's both the number 4s will hold on to those colored cards for the time being. Might be a different story in the second period, but for now, I think both coaches will have a lot to take from how this first half action has panned out. Mike Duc Chung himself, he's been such an active part of this first 45. I haven't seen him so animated before. And Coach Ikeda has always got that I'm cool as a cucumber kind of demeanor. And he's been like that even during his playing days. He was a part of the famed Urawa Reds in the J-League. And Lethi Demi looks like she's just got a bit of a niggle there for her left knee. You can see her limping about a bit. And that's going to be the first goal! Right into space, and Pham Hai Yen makes it 1-0. Thailand just caught catnapping for a quiet bit. Wonderful pass into the goal area, and that's made a difference. We were just talking about Pham Hai Yen being in that starting lineup, and Coach Ikeda, well, just surprised. But we're going to get a look at that all over again. So Hai Yen has got, well, the crowd on their feet. 2 minutes of added time, as we can see, and this is how it all panned out. Absolutely wonderful assist into the box. All it needed was a finish. Chachawan behind, no one else there to back it up. And I do believe that is such a sweet assist, and I'll leave you to break it down, Natasha.
And the ball that was given just right behind that defensive line for Hai Yen to continue on to her run. It's a well-timed strike, takes it first time. Side netting, just beyond the reach of Pawarisa to get the goal right before halftime, to give Vietnam the advantage before going into the break. You could feel that goal coming as well. They've been on the attack, wave and wave of attack for the last 10 minutes, and eventually able to break the deadlock to put themselves with the advantage before the half.
So powered on by that goal, Team Vietnam just beginning to look a bit stronger here. And what a smart selection from Coach Mike Duc Chung. We knew that was going to make a difference here, having a couple of lethal attackers right in front. Here goes Chon Thi Thu, straight off to Hai Yen. Hai Yen getting it back to Hai Lin. Hai Lin back to Hai Yen. She's just going to give herself a bit of breathing space, well, down the midfield area. And that's straight off from Chon Thi Thu. Will draw in Thu Thao. So let's remind you once again, 2 minutes of added time. Can Vietnam get their second of the evening? Smartly played there. Hyen gets to it. That assist will be turned away. Pinyapat just rejecting the offer from Chanthizun. And that's pretty much the end of the first period as Thailand claimed the spoils. What a joy it's been. Pham Hyen gives Thailand that essential lead that they take into the break. And we'll be back in just a little bit to take you through second half action.
And the crowd here going wild, getting that goal, getting that home advantage right before the break. The tactical adjustment from the last game to this matchup for coach Mai Dok Young, putting in Hyen in the starting lineup, paying off, bearing the fruit, getting the goal, 1-0 at halftime.
So right here at the Luc Chai Stadium in this third place matchup between Thailand and the host nation Vietnam. It is Vietnam who've got themselves into the driver's seat for the time being. And all thanks, of course, to Hyen. Having said that, there's still 45 minutes more to go, and we'll be back to take you through it. So at half time, it's Vietnam 1, Thailand 0.
quý vị khán giả, ngày hôm nay ban tổ chức có một hoạt động vô cùng đặc biệt dành cho các bạn trong giờ nghỉ giữa giờ tại MSIG Serenity Cup. Thử thách fan cam MSIG. Nếu bạn đã có trong tay một chiếc quạt của MSIG thì các bạn có thể thoải mái tham dự cái phần thi này. Nhưng nếu chưa có thì các bạn không đừng lo. Hãy tìm cho mình một nhân viên MSIG gần nhất để nhận được một chiếc quạt và số lượng thì chỉ có hạn. Chỉ trong vài giây nữa thì fan cam sẽ bắt đầu quét khán đài, và nếu camera quay trúng các bạn thì đó chính là lúc để các bạn tạo cho mình cái dáng chụp hình thật là đẹp. Các bạn có thể tạo dáng cho mình một style theo kiểu dễ thương hoặc hài hước, hoặc là theo phong cách memory chan, hoặc là bất kỳ một phong cách nào các bạn muốn. Nếu khán giả có thể cổ vũ nhiệt tình cho các bạn thì các bạn sẽ nhận được một chú gấu bông memory chan phiên bản giới hạn, siêu hiếm và cực kỳ dễ thương. Hãy tập trung vào màn hình lớn, và nếu các bạn thấy mình ở trên đó, đừng ngại ngùng, hãy cho chúng tôi thấy cái hình dáng thật dễ thương của các bạn. Và fan cam sẽ được bắt đầu sau 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bắt đầu. Chị gái, chị sẽ gửi đến một phần quà vô cùng đặc biệt đến từ ban tổ chức. Như vậy ban tổ chức có thể trao giải thưởng cho một người đang được fan kèm với một phần quà của bạn. Và một lần nữa ban tổ chức xin chia sẻ với quý vị hình thức để tham gia phần chơi vô cùng thú vị này như sau. Bất kỳ khi nào fan cam thiếu cho quý vị hãy tạo cho mình một chiếc dáng thật là xinh, thật là thú vị, thật là dễ thương, và xinh ngay cho mình một phần quà rất đặc biệt đến từ ban tổ chức. Chỉ cần mình xinh, mình tạo dáng dễ thương thì kiểu gì cũng có quà. Thì quý vị đừng ngại, mình hãy tỏ dáng, và đây là sân khấu của chúng ta. Không phải lúc nào chúng ta được spotlight với bọn mình như thế này. Fan cam của chúng tôi đang tiếp tục di chuyển, tìm cho mình một quý vị khán giả dễ thương. Vẫn xin mời anh phải tạo cho mình một chiếc dáng thật là dễ thương được không ạ? Đúng rồi ạ, vâng, xin mời chú. Và chúng ta tiếp tục một người thắng cuộc tiếp theo. Còn bên lúc để chúng ta phân định thắng cuộc đấy, cho mình một chiếc dáng thật dễ thương đấy ạ. Vâng, mọi người thắng cuộc trong lần vận động này sẽ là anh ạ. Xin chúc mừng ạ. Xin mời anh có thể nhận phần thưởng của MSIG. Xin chúc mừng và cảm ơn anh cảm ơn chị đã tham dự phần chơi của MSIG lần này. Xin trân trọng cảm ơn. sức vẫn còn một phần quà nữa dành cho quý vị khán giả có một bộ hình đẹp nhất. Quý vị hãy tặng cho mình dáng hình đẹp nhất của mình đi ạ. Ban tổ chức vẫn còn một phần quà nữa ạ. Một lần nữa thì ban tổ chức xin chia sẻ lại với quý vị về buổi lễ tham dự cuộc thi ngày hôm nay. Quý vị nhìn tạo ra thì việc cười thật tươi tạo cho mình chiếc dáng hình thật dễ thương thật xinh xắn, và chúng tôi những chiếc camera di động sẽ trực tiếp quay đến quý vị. Và nếu quý vị có trong mình một cái biểu cảm dễ thương thì chắc chắn rồi phần quà của ban tổ chức sẽ thuộc về quý vị. Tạo cho mình một cái câu chuyện thật là dễ thương hiệu và cảm ơn người được quay đến quý vị rồi.
Welcome back to second half action right here at the Lok Choi Stadium as Thailand and Vietnam resume their battle. Remember, Vietnam taking a single goal lead into the break on a goal from Hyen pretty late into the second period, and that of course is what has brought, well, the home fans joy. There's a good crowd that's turned up here, of course, as always, to support the Golden Star Women's Army, I'd say, rather than Warriors, and it's been a joy. That's the Thailand support system. Absolutely beautiful illustration of the war elephant there. I do love that. Into the second half here, my name is Glenn Mascarenas. Along with me, I've got my good friend and co-commentator Natasha, and we are going to take you through this third place game right till the end. Thailand still with it. Plum Joy gets it back to Pinyapat. Pinyapat throwing in Nacha. And that's a change that we've had as Chanti Suon has been replaced by Vian Thi Wan. And I think that that's one change for Team Vietnam.
And at the halftime stats as well, it was 54% possession for Vietnam and 46% for Thailand. 5 attempts for Vietnam, 2 on target and 1 converted. Only 2 attempts for Thailand, 1 was on target, but no goals to show for just yet.
And Vietnam able to clear the danger there. Didn't take, well, too long. I think that's just what they would have wanted.
But very even matchup as well. Passes created, 254 for Vietnam, 221 for Thailand. Even the pass accuracy, very, very similar.
Well, that's going to be stopped. Absolutely delightful shot there from Madison. Kim Thon's got it covered. One-on-one pretty much there with the keeper. And needed to get the better of her, pretty much in a similar position that Hyen was when she struck that goal. But safe hands from the Vietnamese keeper.
But great work from Madison to get the second half going, to start their account on a stronger note, getting a chance. It was a beautiful strike from Madison, but a very hard angle to be able to convert from. Keeper Kim Tan does really well on that occasion.
Well, she's such an exciting player to watch. Madison Jade Castine, very, very quick on the draw, and that's really what makes her so important. Of course, it looks like we do have a decision that's gone back, and the referee just awaiting that. Just trying to figure out what the skirmish was about. There was Chachawan. And all's fair, and we're back to the action. Was there an appeal for offside? I don't think it would have been, because there was no goal at all. But having said that, it's back to the action right here. Yes, Blumjoy back into that goal area, but turned away very easily by Chong Tae Kyu. Pinyapat will get it back to our captain. He's pretty much put that well into right space, I would believe. Thailand do have an opportunity, but Kim Thon will fend that away. Janista, I was about to say pass the ball goal. Don't go in for the strike by yourself. Well, here we go back again, and that's going to be another wasted opportunity. Kanjanatat. One of the odd things that I've looked at well in this in a matchup like this is you've got really the troops lying around you. Use them. Don't just go and fly solo all the time. So 2 opportunities, especially the one with Janista.
It's always 50-50 when it comes to those chances and those tight angles. If you're able to convert them, all is fair. No, nothing to say. But if you can't, then the players in the middle or inside the box that could have had a better angle if you pass to, of course.
You're forgetting the main part. It also gives us fuel to talk. Yes, Pinyapat. Well, that's going to lie loose. Bit of joy here for the home fans, but Pomerissa can breathe easy, and she still wants to get in on the score. There's no doubt about it. Thai Thi Thao. You've also got Bien Thi Wan, who can well set up. She's got great support from her. Yes, Pinyapat back again. I'm just trying to figure why do you want to keep that ball moving high when you actually, Vietnam have proved pretty much in this tournament they work well with set pieces. We've seen that right through, and I'm just sometimes flummoxed at some of the long balls and the long shots taken. Having said that, well, a team knows better what they do on the pitch, and here's Pomerissa. And referee Kim Yoo-jong just signaling her to get back well into the thick of things.
Thailand in that first half, first 10 minutes especially, that's when they were able to create their 2 chances. Very few chances, but they were dangerous chances for their side in the second half. They're starting the second half much stronger than the Vietnam squad, but again have not yet able to convert the few chances that they've created.
Yes, pulled away, but not for too long, and well, Tavanrat guilty there of a misdemeanor, so it's definitely going to be Well, a free kick opportunity for Vietnam. Tavanrat just was sticking a foot out. That's a lazy foot. And Tu Thao.
Chanti Tu Thao, of course, really aggressive as well in that midfield battle. Eager to win back possession for their side.
Well, really closing down that area very quickly, Chong Thi Kiu. And there are times when, of course, this number 3 just manned that back area herself. Another member of the Ho Chi Minh City Football Club. Chong Thi Kiu is a really, really seasoned contender. Here's it's straight back to Super Prawn, Plum Joy. And Super Prawn decides to draw in Piche Thida. Piche Thida won't hold on to it for too long as it was pulled away by Tai Thi Tao. Wasn't an attempt to clear, but just to create an opportunity. Pinyapat's behind it. You've got Haiyan chasing it down. Bit of juggling there, and Haiyan manages to pull it away. Defensive measures being taken by Piche Thida at the right time.
And that was a great press initiated by Haiyan to really just disturb the possession in the back from the defenders of Thailand and win back possession for Vietnam in the attacking third.
Oh, wonderful delivery in there. Could spell a bit of trouble here. Oh, well, I think just a slight delay there that's given Thailand time to regroup. Vietnam looking very lethal. They want that second goal, but Chachawan fails to clear it entirely. I think Thailand just a bit unsure of their step, but absolutely wonderful work being done here by Vietnam on the front. Tu Thao weaving away. She split that Thai defense on 2 occasions, and I think Thailand have got to come up with a plan, because the ladies in red are beginning to look a lot more aggressive than they did in that first period. Chachawan takes the throw in.
They've been so quick on the press, putting on pressure on that back line of Thailand for them to commit errors and scrambles inside the box.
Now that's not going to bother anyone, but it's the second or third time around that Kanchanathat has just come up with the goods, but every single wild effort is not going to count. But I do believe Thailand want to take their chances, and whatever they can earn out of it might be just a reward. So Kanchanathat, not a sure foot, but really a shot in the dark here, if you ask me. Had the initiative, but not the accuracy for that one. That's pulled away now. Haiyan, still very much with it. And I think this time Super Prawn will get to it before Tu Thao can. I was just looking back at Haiyan, besides the fact, Natasha, that she has got those lethal strike abilities like Big Three. She's another very sticky customer. Having said that, the other attacker, Huan Yu, isn't. She tends to be, a bit of push and pull. And I do believe that inclusion of Pham Haiyan making such a big difference in this game here today. And you've had a good look, of course, at how things stand with the statistics here.
So very close battle between the two in terms of possession, in terms of attempts. And as we said, it's Vietnam that have been more clinical. They're the ones that were able to convert late in the first half to get that advantage coming into the second half. As we said, it was a gamble paid off for the side of Vietnam, putting Haiyan in the starting 11 rather than a player who comes off the bench in their previous outing. And she helps Vietnam get the goal, get the lead.
Now that's the Vietnam team's support system. They've had every sort of tune playing. There's percussion, there's wind instruments, and there's a bit of joy there. The flag flying high, of course, of the nation. But more importantly, I just wait for them every time to give me the tune of the Isle of Capri. And if you're into, well, that age-old music, what a joy it is to hear a classic like that. Chung Tae-kyu will await, well, the chance to push that ball back into play.
And as we talk also a bit more about the goal scorer, Hyen, she has 88 appearances already, 89 including today for the national team, 50 goals to her name for her country. She plays for Hanoi WFC. 30-year-old came up from the rankings from their youth national team, from the U20, and seamlessly slotting and finding her way in the national team.
Well, she really is second best when you think about it to Hwan Yu, isn't she, in terms of goal scoring, and does play a part of the vice captain. And Chachawan and Hwan Yu, well, trying to figure out why, well, referee Kim Yoo-jong, looks like something's gone back. Has it gone back to VAR or back to the room? That's going to be a quick well, bit of hydration as well. We've got a change coming on. As about to take to the field, it's going to be Nanthi Wansa, and she replaces Pham Hai-yen. So Nanthi Wansa comes in. She's another joy. The Vietnamese fans absolutely love her. So number 21 comes in for Hai-yen. Incidentally, well, Nanthi Wansa does play down in the assisting position. She does play as an attacking midfielder most often.
Just a great ball, diagonally placed right behind the defensive line. Hyen takes it first time. Amazing finish from her. Side netting just beyond the reach of Pawarisa to get Vietnam the goal and to give them the advantage.
So while a referee, well, Kim Yoo-jong is awaiting a decision, it's time for us also to reflect on the fact that well, just trying to figure it out. Was there, well, a call or an appeal for a corner or for possession? Well, I don't really know as of now, but Chung Tae-kyu gets back to where she was originally, and she will push that ball back into action. So all said and done, let's remind you also that it is still Vietnam that lead by a single goal in this game over Team Thailand, and both teams playing for bragging rights as to who will finish third best in the tournament. So Vietnam 1, Thailand 0, that remains. With Hai-yen now off the field and Nanthi Wansa, well, just coming in to replace her in the second period of play. Also, having said that, you're pretty much 60 minutes in, and that's what Wansa does. The moment she comes on, she's a pacey customer, sets that up well for Hwan Yu, and that's going to go past the away post. That's quick movement there from Team Vietnam. Nanthi Wansa to Hwan Yu, and Hwan Yu, well, just creating that opportunity for Vien Thi Van to take the shot. So this is really where Vietnam do excel. And I can't for the life of me think why they want to go in for the long ball sometimes.
And that was quick work from both the substitutes to connect, to create a chance quickly as they've just come onto the pitch. And that's exactly, if you're a coach, that's exactly what you want from your substitutes, to be able to change the game, to be able to help create chances for your team, to be the game changers that you hope them for them to be once they step onto the pitch.
So we've got a few changes coming on as Renyapat gets ready to come on along with well, Pathranan. Renyapat will replace Renyapat and Pathranan will replace Thavanrat and Nacha. So Renyapat, of course, does play up front, and Pathrapan will move to the wings. where Nacha normally plays as a right wing back. So interesting change here, and I do believe, well, Renyapat, such a key player, has a very, very good bit of coordination that happens between her and Piche Athida. And Renyapat, quick to get in on the action as she will take the corner here for Team Thailand. Struck well, and that's quick defensive measures being taken by Team Vietnam. And it's Big Three to the rescue. Big Three in defense, Big Three in attack, and Big Three down the flanks. We've seen all over the place. And just wonder when you're looking at some of these well, young ladies and the way that they've gone about their business. Whether they'll play on foreign shows someday, just like Juan Nhu spent a bit of time in Portugal. And I always think there is that opportunity. Quick pass back there from Vien Thi Van. Chung Tae Kyu will restore it to her. Vien Thi Van, while picking out Juan Nhu. Precision pass there. Another goal opportunity, and another one that's going to be turned away. Totally past the left post, and this time it's Nanthi Vansa. And there's a reason why the home fans were so excited about seeing her. Quick fire lightning, that young lady. Little bundle of energy. Really electrifying the way that she moves.
Exactly. She's only 24 years old, already 39 appearances, 9 goals for her country, plays for Hanoi.
There's Vansa back again.
She's been lively on that left-hand flank ever since she's been introduced in this game.
Chanti too, just restoring it to the right flank. Let's remind you that we're almost 20 minutes into the second period of play. Well, there's been nothing to reap from it so far, but that could all change. It's kind of funny when you think about it. Well, Vansa also another player from the Hanoi club, which of course is just next door, a couple of hours drive, and that's past the right post this time. Well, if you can't pass it, you can't take the strike, and Vien Thi Van, well, she's picked up the initiative. I think that's a great change, actually, just as you mentioned, to bring in Vien Thi Van and Vansa this part of the game. And they've definitely injected a lot more energy. Those quick fire attacks that have come in, Thailand have pretty much gone about it like a routine day at the office so far. Madison will just giving her defense a bit of a helping hand. And Big Three will steal possession. Patranan tries to pull it away. And the referee, of course, will award that to Thailand, thanks to Madison being dealt a misdemeanor.
So 3 corners apiece for Vietnam and Thailand.
And that could be dangerous. 1-on-1, and she will win the battle. Juan Nhu makes it 2-0, and she's got the flag out there. The golden star is up. What a joy, what an absolute joy here. Juan Nhu making the difference. It's been one of the key elements in this game, and if you look at her, 69 goals for the count, 112 appearances, and she's just going on the increase. So the captain has made a call. Poverissa fends it off once, but on the rebound, what an easy strike she made it look like. Absolutely smart thinking from the captain. Thailand now picked back by 2.
And Vietnam were consistently on the pounds. As we said, the game changers really helping set up Juan Nhu to be able to get those chances, attack after attack. And this time around, they find the back of the net. That was a great pass in between the defensive lines. The first stop from Pawarisa was not enough to stop the attack of Juan Nhu.
Well, I think just that error of not clearing the ball, a single bounce there for Hwan Yu to get in on it. And what a legacy this lady will leave behind. You know, the darling of the crowd, as we can see. She's been phenomenal with the way that she served the country. So a goal in either half from Team Vietnam so far. It's 2-0, and Thailand do have a lot to accomplish.
Hwan Yu, of course, adds up to her tally. As you said, there's 69 goals already for Hwan Yu, making her the all-time top scorer for Vietnam. She's also had experience playing abroad, playing in the Portugal top division. And now finding her way back with Ho Chi Minh City FC.
Well, that's a little bit of a loose effort there from Team Thailand, really to grant possession to Team Vietnam. And you can't afford to do that when the ladies in red are looking like they've got a bit of bite, you know, to offer. And there's already been 2 occasions where they have, you know, bared those claws. Another opportunity, and what a strike! Absolutely wonderful strike there. Big Three has come to the party. It's now 3-0, beautifully angled shot, really taken on the trot from the number 23. And for the 3rd time around, the Lok Choi Stadium has come alive with the home fans. It was always going to be a bit of a worry. 2 players from Vietnam in there, and a third on the left flank. The Thailand defense dismantled once again. It's 3-0.
And Vietnam capitalizing again from diagonal crosses right behind the defensive line. They're having a hard time taking care of that. And Vietnam able to exploit that weakness of Thailand and able to get back-to-back goals within 3 minutes.
3rd goal in the tournament. What a joy. Big Three just pouncing on that. Did not waste any time. That's quick thinking on a part. I think a step too many, and that would have been just an opportunity lost. Absolutely wonderful delivery coming there from Vian Thi Wan. And that's what she's been doing. Assist or strike. What a joy to see Big Three with a 3rd goal in the tournament.
And to be able to finish from the tightest of angles, taking it a first time, finding the back of the net near post. Spectacular goal for a spectacular player.
Couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have said it better. She's been really, you know, as I said, the pick of the players for Vietnam. But what a joy for Hwan Yu, you know. Real disappointment in the semi-final. But I think she's got a bit of her own back. And that's going to do her a lot of good because she's such a passionate, you know, player, such a passionate captain. So 3 of the main attacking players, everyone's got a goal for the count today for Vietnam.
And you also have to give it to the tactical adjustments made by Vietnam. Whether it's in terms of who the coach chose as the starting 11, and that's how Hyen got her goal. She ended up on that first 11. And at the same time, timing the substitutions in the second half, shifting gears in the second half, and the substitutes connecting, creating chances, setting up the players like Big Tui and Hwan Yu to get the 2nd and the 3rd goal, giving Vietnam that comfortable lead 70 minutes in this matchup.
It's one of the things that really got me thinking in the semi-finals, you know, and I was like, Coach Mai Duk Chung is a very, very sharp strategist. Having said that, I did think the choices were on, and that's another high flyer. No way it's going to find the target, but it's Rinyapat who gets a feet behind it. And I think Thailand have had so many shots from a distance, whether they've been struggling to get past the Vietnamese defense or not, but that reliance of going solo is definitely not paying rich dividends because they've been putting the ball high a couple of times. But I was just saying, looking back at that game against Australia, and I do believe I was kind of not confused, but just questioning the fact that some of the players, when it wasn't even working, well, did find themselves through the entire length of the game. And today, I think Mai Duk Chung's strategy has been absolutely phenomenal. Janista's got a bit of a worry there. And Thailand still very much looking to attack Vietnam, once again clearing it. It will be taken forward. Thai Thi Thao. Well, getting a good mate back in, and Big Tui can always be a bit of a worry, but we are right now, it's Thu Thao. Janista will still stretch it out. 71 minutes in.
And
we've also got
right before that as well, Van Suon, that left hand flank, just so quick, especially when they lose possession, so quick, even on those 50-50s, to try to get that tap in to make sure that Vietnam remain to have possession as well. When you talk about the chances created from Thailand, they've had their chances from distance. The very few moments that they've had, but they weren't able to convert those into shots on target even. So they've had their chances. They were able to find those small bits of spaces, but they haven't been so clinical to really test Kim Tan.
And I think that's been a tad bit of a worry for Team Thailand, talking about the attack, just lacking a bit of bite. And we do have, Thu Thong who's getting ready to come in, and she will replace Chan Thi Thu. So we've got Long Thi Thu Thong replacing Chan Thi Thu down, well, in defense. And Chan Thi Thu has played a stellar role here today as well in defense. Lum Jai just making sure that she escorts the player out. Always a kind gesture to make sure that no time is wasted.
Chan Thi Thu Thong, of course, Chan Thi Thu rather, was one of the players who has a booking already, a yellow card. So a smart substitution as well.
Kwan Neo back again, but this time stopped in the tracks by Plum Joy. 73 minutes in, Vietnam lead by 3 goals. And
it's been masterclass work for the side of Vietnam. All players really just playing on that same page, a very well-oiled machine. Fluidity in their movement, transitions have been on point. Their energy and physicality as well, just above the side of Thailand.
Chang Thi Kiu once again stalling that pass from Rinyapat. Well, it's the biggest margin that Vietnam have led Thailand by in this tournament. There have been occasions where Vietnam has won 3-2 in 2006, and never has Vietnam in the ASEAN Women's Championship led Thailand by 3 goals. Without Thailand, even having found the target. So it's quite a slick back pass from Kwan Neo. And it is, of course, Thai Thi Thao. But Pathranan able to pull it away just in time. Yes, Madison. Madison, of course, missing out on 2 opportunities today. She was pretty much on course for a goal with 1 before she was stopped by Kim Tan. Quick pass back there from Rien Thi Wan.
And when you're leading 3-0, you also grow in confidence in the game. And you could see it by the way that Vietnam have played in this matchup. 13 attempts as to Thailand's 8, 5 on target, converted 3.
Well, Thailand have had 4 on target, and that pretty much tells us a story of how, Kim Tan has been quite prolific with the work that she's done here today. And just a bit of fatigue, creeping in here for Kanchanathat.
And Thailand were able to get those chances at the first 10 minutes of the matchup. But eventually, when Vietnam found their momentum, they took control and have not looked back since. Getting that first goal at a 45th minute high-end to make sure that Vietnam had the lead right before halftime. At the start of the second half, there were moments of brilliance for Thailand, but Vietnam able to turn the Jets quickly in the second half as well. to get them the 2 goals.
But Chiatida, well, 2 occasions, well, just going in for a bit of flash play, but that's not going to work here against Team Vietnam. We've been very grounded through this entire, event today. And the home team beginning to look much sharper. I do believe, well, having said that, that Team Thailand, most of the players in Team Thailand, with the exception of that first encounter they had in the group stage, are not acquainted with many of the Vietnamese, stars. And that's, of course, because we've got so many new, fresh faces in there and a lot of youth talent. But this is really the grooming ground. The ASEAN Women's Championship, it's the #1 contest for women's football in Southeast Asia. And what a joy it's been. Quick collect there, trying to make a bit of a difference. That was Thu Thao. I do believe Vietnam would be very keen on a 4th goal. Chung Thi Kieu needs a bit of a helping hand there from a good mate, Thu Thong. It's been a very good day here in Hai Phong. Was expecting it to actually pour down earlier, and I'm going to say, absolutely grateful for the fact that it didn't, because that's when you have, a great day for a great event. And what a matchup this has been. Yes, another opportunity you would think, but Vian Thi Van unable to hold on. Here's Janista. It's been fairly quiet, and I do believe Team Vietnam really working well to keep that ball away from 2 key players. Janista, of course, and to a great extent from Madison Castine when they could. And that's going to be absolutely quick on the draw. Big 3! Gets it down. Well, to her captain, put into space, Vian Thi Van. A bit of a delay there, and Vian Thi Van unable to do it, but what a spectacular run we saw from that number 21, was it? We've got to get a view of that. Vian Thi Van unable to pack that in.
Just a touch too many for her, but it was great work in transition and intercepted pass by Big Tui, finding the run of Won Nhu.
11,978. That is the attendance today. And it's one of the strangest things when you think about it. We've got another change coming on as Virunya will come in for Janista. And she did start off in that game against Myanmar. So Janista, Jinan Thuya replaced by Virunya Quen Kasikum.
Virunya getting that goal against Myanmar in that semi-finals match. So let's see the difference that she can make for the side of Thailand.
And Vietnam once again surging ahead. Penyapat will have it covered, sends it back to a keeper. If you're just looking back at the attacks that Vietnam have had, it's been quite exciting, but sometimes just a slight pause in your train of thought will get that goal opportunity kind of dissolved and turned away from you. But there's the scoreline back again. Vietnam lead by 3 goals. Big 3, Won Nhu and Hyen all coming to the fore today. Madison. Plumjoy. It's back to, keeper Pavarissa. So just about 10 minutes left in this encounter. And I have to say one thing, though. While Vietnam have dominated play, and they've been, for my money, the better team on the pitch, I would have loved to see Thailand, take this game down to the wire.
And nothing is, of course, final until that final whistle. So Thailand still do have a chance. They just have to dig deep, connect better with their passes, and to take their chances. But Vietnam in the driver's seat so far. They've been finding the gaps in between. They've been so quick with their passes. and just finding the runs of the players up on top.
Well, here's Patharanan. Straight off there to Pinyapat. Trying to figure whether, Team Thailand have a change in strategy, because they've pretty much gone about, well, their usual style of play. Vietnam have done a bit of chopping and changing here in the way that they've progressed. And it's going to be a fairly interesting battle. This tips the scales, of course, in favor of Vietnam, who do lead in their all-time encounters in the ASEAN Championship. And that's just going to be one more for Team Vietnam. So as we get into these last 10 minutes of play, we've also got to remind you that in just a little bit from now, and when we say a little bit, we probably mean 2 hours, it's going to be, well, another battle that'll take place. Actually not, is it 2 hours? It's actually less than 2 hours, probably an hour and a half. It's going to be Team Australia and Myanmar fighting it out for the biggest honor in ASEAN women's football, and that's the title of the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. All that coming up for you later, but for now, it's still back to the action here. Great crowd, absolutely wonderful performance from Team Vietnam, and we've got 2 more players, well, getting ready to come on for Team Thailand. So Pichaya Thida will come off, and Pichaya Thida and Madison replaced by Julie Groning and Parichat Thongrong. So Parichat Thongrong and, well, Julie have come in. That's Julie Groning. An entirely different change here from, well, Coach Ikeda.
And as we've also said, this tournament really does showcase the best in ASEAN women's football. And for this young squad of Thailand, a lot of takeaways for them as they continue to build. You've seen them grow throughout the tournament as well. They've had moments of brilliance, especially in the group stage matches against Indonesia and Cambodia. But after losing to Vietnam in the last day of the group stage, they just still haven't found their footing back in this tournament. And for Vietnam, on the other hand, amazing outings, 3 for 3 in the group stage, maximum points. Heartbreaking loss against Australia.
Straight up there from Brunia, what an opportunity missed! What an opportunity missed, right place at the right time, and that's quick defensive work. Well, she's got a smile on her face, and I want to, Thao. So we've got more changes coming on as Swunyu will come off as well. And we do have Nunthi Tanya coming in. So Tanya will replace Swunyu, and that's a goal that was scored earlier by, well, Big Three. We did mean to show you the one scored by Swunyu. So striker for striker. And along with, well, Tanya coming onto the pitch, it is also, well, Chakong. So Vienti Chakong, well, comes in to replace Thai Thi Thao. Just trying to figure out whether that's made, a huge bit of a difference, for the team. But fresh pair of feet, and I do believe Coach Mike Chung would want to give all his ladies a chance here. And we do have Thai Thi Thao, who's gone through a slight injury, which is why she's being carried off. What a role played here by Huan Yu.
As we said, she leaves the pitch as the all-time top scorer for Vietnam. 69 goals to her name. She got the second goal in this matchup, and it's going to be those 2 substitutions for the side of Vietnam.
It's a corner opportunity, keeping it fairly low was Rinyapat, and once again, here we go, Veronia. Shouldn't she have been in earlier? It's now 3-1. Well, opened the scoring in that game against Myanmar, and what an opportunity here for her to have, well, coming back again. And I'm just trying to figure out whether Coach Ikeda is going to look back and say, should she have started? She's quick as well. And Veronia reducing the deficit, 2 goals behind. But what a joy to watch here. Let's break that down again. Rinyapat going in with the low one. Inability to clear it right at the feet of Veronia, and all she needed was to turn that and deposit it home. 3-1.
The substitutes injecting life to the side of Thailand. That was the 2 game changers off the bench for Thailand, connecting Rinyapat. That great low delivery. Finding Vironya. And an absolute spectacular finish.
And while the Thailand fans, of course, do get back up and about, just a slight bit of a worry there, I do believe. And that's for Thu Thao. And just a slight collision. But what a joy here for the traveling fans, I do believe. Thailand is providing that. Having said that, of course, Team Vietnam want to restore that 3-goal lead. Bit of a loose pass coming in there. Tanya not too happy about a teammate. But having said that, I don't think Vietnam have got anything to complain about. It's been a wonderful day at the office for them. And, well, Chachawan gets it back to Plum Joy.
And since Vietnam have been so clinical with their finishing, despite Thailand getting a goal late in this game, they still have that 2-goal cushion. But for the side of Thailand, again, it will also be a question of the timing of his substitutions. Should he have introduced these players earlier in this game to inject more life, to give them that fighting chance in this matchup?
It's quite a joy to see, Veronia as well, another player who comes from the Chonburi club, 20 years old, but she definitely, one of the things that she's packed in even on the other day is she's a very, very strong poacher. She can turn things around. Here's Chachawan. Another excellent delivery in. Chance here for Thailand. What do you do with that? And I think Rinyapat's just going to think about that, but Coach Ikeda will applaud that on. It's one of the good things that I've loved about Coach Futoshi Ikeda. If you're talking about encouragement and mentorship, well, you've got to hand it to him. Did get a foot to that, did have sight of the goal. Unable to direct that towards the back of the net, but she does bring in the threat, Rinyapat. Kind of missed seeing her in the first period too, Natasha.
Rinyapat, of course, only 18 years old. And when given that chance to play, to come on off the bench, she's already has an assist to her name and creating trouble against Vietnam late in this matchup.
And we are going to give you, we've got a bit of added time because we had a couple of stoppages there, 6 minutes of added time as we cross the 90. So that's 6 minutes for the count. And that could be, well, I think just a lease of life for Team Thailand to try and, win back a bit of pride. They're still 2 goals behind. Quick run there from Patharanan. As she holds on to possession. And I do believe Vietnam just winning the benefit of that. Well played, I'd say, by Thu Thao.
Chanti Thu Thao just showing off her physical presence. Just shielding herself, winning the foul.
And being the victim. I do love that. Chachawan.
She's also the goal scorer as well against Thailand in the group stage.
she's been absolutely phenomenal against Thailand. I do think she relishes the challenge, every time she faces Thailand. Well, so do most of the Vietnam players. And the reason I've always figured out is that in Southeast Asia, these two teams play a very similar brand of football. They love to attack. But here's Patharanan. Needs to create an opportunity, but that's turned away just in time. Trying to pull that away. Smartly done, I would believe. Here's Tanya. Does bring on the attack, but Virunya just able to get that away.
And that run and distance covered by Virunya to just take up as much ground, to track back, win back possession for Thailand. Absolutely great work from the substitute.
Well, I do believe as the lights slowly go down on the outside, and as the lights of course burn a bit brighter here at the stadium in Hai Phong, the Lak Chai Stadium has been witness to something special from the host team. And for all those that were really saddened by the fact that their team did not make it to the final, I think Team Vietnam, the ladies, have really done their best to give the fans their time and money's worth here today. It's been a glorious performance from them, and one that's been based totally on skill and talent and nothing else. So what a joy here with just about 3 minutes left to go. Let's remind you once again that Vietnam still lead by 2 goals in this encounter. Team Thailand will still look to probably reduce that deficit further.
Injected life here, of course, late in the game with the substitutes made by coach Futoshi Ikeda. But Vietnam still on the pounce.
And that's got to be absolutely marvelous. Nothing to keep a good lady down. And a couple of players, of course, do bring that. Something that I absolutely love. Well, Tanya, of course, awaits an opportunity. But some of the players that I do love, and this time, of course, it is the number 21. A real bundle of energy there, Nanthi Vansa. Well, was pulled down, didn't take her too long to rise back up.
But since the moment she was introduced in this game, you could tell that she brought a different firepower. She brought a different dynamic to the match. She's been aggressive ever since, winning back possession every time, creating chances for the side of Vietnam. Such a joy to watch.
Well, she did get a standing ovation when she came on, and I do believe the number 23 and number 21 in tandem, they're a very, very dangerous pair to have on the pitch at the same time. So, quite a joy here. But having said that, we've enjoyed every single blistering round once again. Just pulling that, Tanya unable to guide that home, and you were just talking about what a difference some players make to the squad, especially like Nanthi Vansa.
You gotta love that line breaking pass to find those gaps in between, to find the half spaces, to be able to connect with the players up on top. It's been great work all around the pitch for Vietnam, defensively, on the attack, and in transition.
Well, if there's one thing that I do believe Coach Mike Duc Chung can be proud about, is that his team did play well, and they played for the fans here today. There's no doubt about it. We're going to hand it to the host nation's women's team. They really, really played their heart out for the fans. Chachuan into the goal area. Chong Thi Kiu says, "Not now, my friend." And as referee Kim Yu Jeong takes a glance at a watch, Team Vietnam know that they are going to remember this encounter. Thailand, still ambushed there by the home team. And that appeal's going to go the way. Well, Big Three says it belongs to us.
It's just been dominant performance from Vietnam, not only on the attacking end, but defensively as well.
And that's pretty much it as referee Kim Yoo-jong brings this game to an end. What an event it's been. What a terrific event. 3 goals to the count for Vietnam. First, a goal struck in that first period by Hyen just before we could get into the break. And then a goal from Captain Huân Nhu. And of course, Big Three making it 3-0 before Virunia stepped in to reduce the deficit. It's been a joy in this third place game, but we'll be back with you soon to take you through the finale. And well, I'm going to say more power to Team Thailand. They'll make it back again sometime soon. But what a performance from the host nation.
As we said, it was a great tactical movement from Vietnam with great outings as well from the players to really get back on that winning streak, to give the home country something to cheer for all the 11,000 people here at the Lac Chai Stadium, and dominant performance. Great finishing all around, goals from Hyen, Huân Nhu and Big Tui to get those 3 goals and to give them that third place finish for the side of Vietnam. It was a heartbreak when they lost against Australia in the semi-finals, but to salvage it all at the end and to get that third place finish for the home country. Spectacular work all around for the side of the Vietnamese.
So while we do await, of course, the final score, there it is, Vietnam 3, Thailand 1. Time for Natasha and me, Glenn, to take a break. We'll be back with you for the big finale in just about a little over an hour. So don't forget to join us then.
Rồi. Nào. Ok. Đưa máy vào anh nhá. Đưa máy vào anh. Rồi. Như thẳng máy nhá, như thẳng máy nhá. Chúc mừng Huỳnh Như cùng với các đồng đội. Chúng ta đã có được một trận đấu rất là thuyết phục ở trận tranh hạng 3. Cái cảm xúc của Huỳnh Như là như thế nào khi mà trong trận đấu cuối cùng tại giải Huỳnh Như đã có được bàn thắng, đã có được tấm huy chương đồng đúng vào ngày 19 tháng 8, một ngày đầy ý nghĩa?
Thật sự là hôm nay thì hiện tại bây giờ thì Như cũng cảm thấy rất là hạnh phúc bởi vì toàn đội đặt mục tiêu là hôm nay phải nhất định là phải giành chiến thắng để mà tặng cho tất cả những người hâm mộ và tri ân tất cả những người đã đến đây và động viên cho đội tuyển nữ. Và hôm nay mọi người thấy là khán giả có mặt rất là đông và Như cảm thấy rất là xúc động và cảm thấy rất là trân trọng điều đó, nên toàn đội đã nỗ lực thi đấu hết sức. Và về cái bàn thắng thì chưa bao giờ Như ghi bàn mà Như thấy mọi người hạnh phúc đến như vậy, mọi người ôm Như và cái điều đó làm cho Như cảm thấy rất là tuyệt vời. Và đặc biệt là ngày hôm nay, ngày 19 tháng 8 mà Như có được bàn thắng thì Như xin tặng bàn thắng này cho tất cả những người hâm mộ cả nước đã luôn yêu thương và đồng hành cùng đội tuyển, và chúc cho mọi người sẽ có một ngày thật là tuyệt vời, thật là nhiều niềm vui và hạnh phúc ạ.
Vâng, ngày hôm nay thì Như đánh giá như thế nào về màn trình diễn của đội tuyển bóng đá nữ Việt Nam và cái bầu không khí tại sân Lạch Tray được các vận động viên mang tới?
Hôm nay thì toàn đội cũng như đã hứa với nhau là phải thi đấu hết sức mình để mà dành tặng cho cổ động viên. Thì như mọi người thấy thì hôm nay toàn đội đã nỗ lực và giành được cái chiến thắng này. Thì đây là một phần thưởng cũng như là một điều tuyệt vời mà toàn đội muốn tri ân đến tất cả mọi người đã đến sân cũng như là tất cả người hâm mộ cả nước đã luôn đồng hành cùng đội tuyển ạ.
Xin chúc mừng. Vào nhé. Okay, what a pity that today Thailand national team lost in the bronze medal match. So how do you comment on the performance of you and your players?
น่าเสียดายที่วันนี้เราแพ้ในเกมชิงเหรียญทองแดงแต่ว่าให้เราพูดถึง performance ของเราแล้วก็ทีมว่าวันนี้เป็นยังไงบ้าง
ค่ะก็ก่อนอื่นก็ต้องยินดีกับเวียดนามด้วยที่สามารถคว้าที่ 3 ได้ แต่สิ่งที่เราได้กลับไปคือประสบการณ์ที่ดีแล้วก็เวียดนามเป็นทีมที่แข็งแกร่งค่ะและเราก็อยากที่จะพัฒนามากขึ้นไปอีก
First of all, congratulations Vietnam to win the third place. So today we feel very good that we can face Vietnam, which is a strong team, and we hope that we can develop after this. We can improve.
In this tournament, Thailand team faced the Vietnam team twice and you lost twice. So this result will make you come back stronger in the next tournament.
ในทัวร์นาเมนต์เนี้ยเราเจอเวียดนาม2 ครั้งแล้วผลการแข่งขันมันจะทำให้เรากลับมาอย่างแข็งแกร่งขึ้นไหม
คิดว่าน้องๆ น่าจะได้ประสบการณ์หลายอย่างค่ะรวมถึงการเสียงเชียร์กดดันของแฟนบอลก็น่าจะทำให้เรากลับมาแข็งแกร่งขึ้นแล้วก็พัฒนามากขึ้นด้วย
She believes that all the players gain a lot of experience here, and also with this atmosphere, a lot of fans here. So of course that everyone gain a lot of experience, and we can come back stronger.
Yeah, thank you for coming here, and I wish you good luck in the next tournament. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a big match here as far as Team Vietnam are concerned. The home fans have turned out. Third place match between Vietnam and Team Thailand, an age-old rivalry that once again comes alive here at the Luck Chai Stadium. Who will win? Second runners-up is the question here. Chachawan winning with a bit of a clash, and that's going to go straight into a good save from Kim Thon as she keeps Team Thailand away. Here's Big Three with the assist. It needs a finish, and unable to guide that home was Thai Thi Thao. Ball sends that over the target. And this time around, a bit of a loose shot from Team Thailand. Madison wins it from Chong Thi Kieu. It's Tavanrat, but pulled away by Kanjanathat, and Plumjoy flights that one. Well, here's Chong Thi Thu. Big Three sets it down. And for the second time around, Thai Thi Thao missing the target. Well, that's into space here. That needs a finish. And what a joy, you would believe here. Racing in, it was Haiyan just before the break. Makes it 1-0, Team Vietnam. Absolutely stunning goal there from Pham Haiyan. So Vietnam lead 1-0 at half-time. And here's Madison. Madison denied by Kim Thon. And that's cleared by Chong Thi Thu. Here's Janista. Janista also kept at bay by the Vietnamese custodian. Can she take this through? Lovely setup there. It's straight off to Huan Nhe. Well, who'll set it up, and Bien Thi Van unable to knock that home, but it was Nan Thi Van Sa who got that process started. Here's Huan Nhe back again. Puts that into space, and that's going to be past the left post. Bien Thi Van missing out on a few occasions. Here's Chong Thi Kieu. It's off to Bien Thi Van. Finds Huan Nhe. And the captain, Vanso, puts it past that left post. So Vietnam really dominating attack here, and this time it's past the right post. Well, the attacking on all sides. Vietnam still lead here in this game. It's been quite a joy from them. Here's the captain, Won Year. Well, she's been stopped, but not this time, as Won Year makes it 2-0. And Poverissa, well, outdone here by the Vietnamese skipper. Poverissa unable to hold on to that, and Won Year has pounced in on that, so Won Year makes it, well, 2-0. Here's Vanso back again, straight into the goal area. Opportunity taken. Well done there, as Big Three makes it now 3 goals for a team. Vian Thi Van with the assist, and what a finish here from Big Three. Taken on the trot, lovely angle, straight to the back of the net, 3-0. Well, that's set down. Here's Rinyapat. Well, just came in off the bench just a while back, and that's straight over the target. A bit too much of flight on that. Corner opportunity. Rinyapat goes in for the low corner. And what a finish there, as Virunya has reduced the deficit. Well, that obstruction has made a big difference. Straight off the feet of Kanjanatat, and pouncing on that, very well done. Virunya makes it 3-1. And Thailand have got a bit of joy here. Chachawan, lovely delivery. Rinyapat misses out again. Beautifully done here by the captain of Thailand. Absolutely wonderful mail sent forward. Needed a finish here, but Rinyapat just missing the target. And that's pretty much full time here, as Vietnam claim bragging rights to finish second runners up in this event. The final score, it's Vietnam 3, Thailand 1, with Vietnam finishing third best in the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.